This is Nancy Carlton for the Arkansas Herald, and I'm here with Richard McGrew, who's running for the JP District 12 here in Garland County. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well, I just heard you speak to the Concerned Citizens Coalition. It was very informative. Tell me what it is with District 12 that is sort of the most important issue that you can take care of for the people in that district. What is their most pressing concern?
I think there's many concerns. Of course, the economic development in the area, water issues, and things that will block the economic development in those areas. I met today with Morgan Wilds, who's developing the window factory at Mountain Pine,
right?
To see how I could help him serve to help the citizens there. I believe, in District 12, there's a lot of the district there that is lower income, and so I am hoping that we can help that district increase in economy and become vibrant.
Herald, and I'm here with State Representative Lori Rushing. She is running for re-election, and I believe she just said she has two opponents, one in the primary, then one in the general.
That is correct.
So tell me about the session that you have just been working on right now. What was the most important thing that you all got accomplished, and were you happy with the results?
Well, I was happy with the results on part of it. Now, I can say today that we did pass the Treasurer's Bill.
Right.
The Treasurer's Bill did have a portion in it where we had the ESA accounts for people to come in and use their money, put money aside that's tax deferred that they can use towards their children's education. Now, we had to take that part out of the Treasurer's Bill to pass because it failed the first time with that in there. But the governor has agreed to put that on the call for the special session next week, which really we might have lost the battle in that one, but we're going to win the war because instead of 76 votes, we're only going to need 51 for that ESA bill to pass. And that's a very good positive thing for parents and for students at that matter.
And is this the one where grandparents are also allowed to contribute? Or,
yes,
okay,
yes,
the
it sure is.
529
yes.
type of account?
It is.
All right, and what is the main thing that you have to face in the special session that's coming up?
Well, I think the main thing that we're going to face in the special session is the pharmacy benefit managers, the PBMs, and our local pharmacies, of course, are having issues with getting reimbursements from the PBMs. We're trying to correct some of those issues and make sure it's more fair for the local pharmacies instead of the big box stores.
Let me right now with Ray Stinson, who's running for Justice of the Peace in District 4 here in Garland County. This is the first time I've met you, so I don't know a whole lot about what your particular platform is. So tell me what it is that you want to do for your constituents.
Well, I just want to give back to my community. It's the first time in my life I've had an opportunity to do so. I worked long, hard hours raising 8 children and 10 grandchildren now. So my wife has recently graduated from college, and she's kind of taken over the reins, giving my old body a break, and so it's given me an opportunity. So I'm kind of new at this, and I'm learning as I go. But I just want to have an opportunity to give back to my community in any way I can and the best way that I can. And so this is kind of dipping my toe into the water and seeing what I can do for my community.
This is Nancy Carlton for the Arkansas Herald, and I am speaking this evening with Mr. Willie Waits, and he is here to speak up on behalf of the inner city youth here in Hot Springs who have been displaced and set out of their after-school place by the locking up and the closing of the Boys and Girls Club. Can you tell me what this current situation is?
Yes, we have kind of just had a concern for the youth of this community. They're displaced at this time. They actually need a place to call home. We want to ensure that what that center provided for them, that they continue in some way or another to receive services, because being inner city youth, the opportunity of high risk or the possibility of falling between the cracks are very great.
Right.
And if this program brought stability to their lives, we would hate to see it go away, and that not be a concern of everyone, because I wanted to paint a picture tonight that the entire community has a responsibility to be as concerned as I am, that we come up with a solution, and one that where it's not a long time in studying or thinking about it, because summer is coming. Arrest rates, crime is on the rise, and we would hate to think that these youth would, venture into trouble just because they didn't have stability in their lives. One of our actual survey reports indicated that parents, it's the number one concern they have is what are their kids doing from 3 to 6 p.m., which is normally the time, and them transitioning home from work. And this center provided activities for them to do that was structured, that would keep them occupied sometime up until 9 o'clock at night. So it was a smoother transition. And with the rise of everything from HIV to bullying to suicide, all these things are probabilities. We look at risk as any one element being missing can cause a situation to go from being good to bad.
With County Judge Rick Davis, and we're going to find out why in the world would anybody decide not to run for re-election?
Well, basically, I never ran for this office thinking it was a career. It was a part-time deal for me to give back to the community, and basically, I kind of think it's time to move on. I have a good person that's going to step in and keep things headed in the right direction, and so I think the timing's right. And I'm at the age that retirement sounds pretty good. I like to fish and hunt, and I think it's time that Denise and I move on and do some things that we want to do. A little bit of traveling, spend more time with our grandkids and our kids, something that I wasn't able to do during the years of running my construction business. And it's just time to enjoy a little bit of life.
We're speaking with Ernie Heinz, and he's running for State Representative, District 26.
That's correct, yes.
What would you like to tell us about what your aspirations are for your district?
For my district?
Yes.
The aspirations is a challenging question because you always think of that as asking someone who's a youthful person. And they want to become a better wrestler or a better swimmer or whatever. But my aspirations really are to give back to the community.
Right.
I immigrated here when I was 8 years old. My parents immigrated, and because of the American dream. This country gave us the opportunities that they were looking for. They owned their own home before they retired. Both their children, my sister and I, graduated from college, and that was one of the key reasons they came here for the academic or educational opportunities. But concurrently, my dad always wanted to give back, and he always taught us to give back. And I sold my business about 4 years ago, and now I'm working for a nonprofit and running that nonprofit. And now I have the time and the flexibility and the opportunity to give back. And so really, one of my aspirations is to give back to this country and to the state that gave us as a family everything that we have today. And if I want to look at one key thing, it's really the opportunity to give back.
Carlton for the Arkansas Herald, and I'm here with Michelle Lawrence. She's a prosecuting attorney here in Garland County.
Yes, ma'am.
What can you tell us about what's been the biggest thing going on in your office lately?
Well, last week we actually had a capital murder trial, 2 deceased victims, and the jury found the defendant guilty. The defendant's name was Eric Reed, and imposed death as a sentence on both of the matters. So that is the second case where we have received the death penalty in Garland County in about the past 3 years. Prior to that, it was about 32 years since that sentence has been given in Garland County. So
Garland County juries, on the whole, are pretty reluctant to give a death penalty then, right?
In the past, but in the past 3 years, they have given the death penalty in 2 separate cases.
And what do you think is causing that change?
I think the volume of crime, and I think that the taxpayers and the citizens want to feel safe in their community.
And they kind of got fed up finally?
Yes, ma'am. I do believe that. Yes, ma'am.
What's the majority of cases that you get, though, here in Garland County? What's the biggest driving factor behind crime in Garland County?
Probably drugs. And I think that's a resounding comment that most communities have. Some of the violent crimes, the property crimes, they all stem from drug abuse or the sale of drugs or something of that nature. So a profound drug problem.
And in Garland County, does it seem to be more opioids, like in prescription drugs, or does it seem to be more like methamphetamine, things that are being homemade, things like that?
Well, I've been doing this job I've been a deputy for about 22 years. So at the beginning, it was the homemade methamphetamine.
Right.
But over time, it is manufactured methamphetamine that is brought in. And of course, the opioids problem is skyrocketing here, just like it is in every other community.
Harold, and I'm speaking right now with George Pritchett, who's a candidate for JP, that's Justice of the Peace, in District 3 here in Garland County. And I'm glad to see that you're stepping up to the plate and see what you can do for the folks in District 3. And what do you plan to do first thing right off the bat? What's their number one issue?
Well, the number one issue in JP District 3 is crime. We have an extremely high rate of crime. If you were to look at a map, and we've been mapping it for a while, I mean, it's just cluttered with dots. You can't hardly see it. If you had a map, and it'd be covered up. And it's a serious problem. Now, we have the problem all over. I know some of the others mentioned opioids, and they mentioned a number of things. But that is our number one district. We have everything from burglaries to strong arm to whatever, and it's permeates our whole community. And the JP represents, once they're elected, they represent the entire county, all 100,000 people. Each of us in our district have about 6,500. We have a neighborhood watch in the area. To be truthful with you, it's not very active. People do not engage. You ask people what they want, and they will tell you, and crime is one of the biggest things. Crime is going to be one of those things that I want to work on. I've had a background in finance. I want to work on the finances of the county. The county finances are in very good shape. Now, no government ever has enough money. None of us individually have enough money either. But that is a big issue, and that's our number one responsibility, is the fiscal planning of the county. The requests come in, and we have to review those, and we have to allocate that money. And when the court's in session, they bring the budget to us. It has to be approved every month to how we pay the bills. That's our number one thing. We have public safety, we have environmental services, we have buildings and things, and we have an ordinance committee, and there's another committee. But everyone serves on 2 or 3 committees, usually 3 committees. And in those committee meetings, everybody can attend, regardless of whether you're on that or not. Usually the people on that committee speak. They take their recommendations and things that voted out of committee, and they come before the full quorum court, and then it's discussed by the full quorum court.
Arkansas Herald is proudly sponsored by Lloyd Auto Sales, 1814 Albert Pike, Hot Springs. You can call at 501-623-1717 or LloydsAutoSales.com. You need a car, Lloyd's is the place to go.
Welcome to Papa Murphy's. My name is Gloria Rand, and I am one of the owners of Papa Murphy's. Papa Murphy's is a take and bake pizza. So when you come into our store, we're going to make you a pizza that you choose from our menu, or you can design your own pizza. And we're going to serve it to you on a platter, on a cooking tray, and you're going to bake it in your oven. So it's home baked, and it's like it's homemade, fresh.
God bless you. All for $10. Can you believe that?
I love Papa Murphy's. Tell.
I love Papa Murphy's. I'm actually obsessed with Papa Murphy's. I love it. It's fresh. You can take it home. You can bake it at your leisure. And then there's no cleanup whatsoever. You bake it all in the tray. Love it.
We're located at 1412 Higdon Ferry, Suite E. We're in the shopping center across from a Sam's.